Glenn Evans, Vince Ilardi here at eSearch Local. I hope you're doing well. Hey, I want to take this opportunity through this video to review your Influence Engines visibility report. We found here at eSearch Local that it's a lot more convenient for business owners to review this information at their leisure rather than trying to schedule an appointment and do an online meeting during the day when it's kind of crazy busy while you're running your business. And also, it's a lot better to do it this way rather than trying to catch you after hours when you're trying to wind down and spend time with family and just juice the batteries to get back into it the following day. So what I'd like to accomplish over the next few minutes is to give you an overview of the details that our team has found in this report and share with you some areas where I believe we can help you and bring your attention to those areas. So again, Glenn, this report is, if you will, it's kind of like a business x-ray. And what we do is we tap into a pretty massive database on the internet, and we look for where your business is listed and found. And based on all this information and in these specific listings, we call them the influence engines. And we generate a quantitative score. The score ranges anywhere from 0 to 100, which, as you can imagine, 100 is where you want to be, which means you are maximizing your online visibility. And bottom line, what that means is when somebody's looking for you, they're going to find you. If somebody's looking for your specific business category, they're going to find you. Now, in doing our research, what I found, Glenn, is your business category is a pretty interesting niche, and it's a very specialized niche, and so much so that Google doesn't even have a specific category for it yet. Okay, and I'm going to get into it in a little bit later, but when we've done also the research, we found although it's a very specified niche, and I'm sure you already know this, it's a pretty competitive industry. There's a lot of people spending money on pay-per-click. The average pay-per-click, I think, is somewhere around $6.50 per click, but it's maxed out. All 10 spots are taken, so there's people spending money on that. But the other important piece of information I'm going to share with you before we get detailed in the report is some interesting statistics. 97% of all people use the internet to research products and services in their local market. 97%. And the better part of that percentage is 8 of 10 of those people end up either calling or walking into the business making a purchase. So, and I believe you already get this from the information I've seen because you've done some work here. You understand the power of the internet and how important it is to have a strong presence, because when people go there, it's a qualified prospect. They're making buying decisions. So with all that being said, the first thing we want to look at is your quantitative score, your online visibility score. And as you see here, your score is a 12. And what does that mean? It means it's a minimal presence. Now, businesses with your score tend to have little or no presence organically on the major search engines. You do have some basic listings in some, but not all of the local search sites and the online yellow page sites. And you have little or no additional information on these local search sites and yellow page sites, and few, if any, ratings and reviews. Now, this page is called the Executive Summary, and there's 2 other pieces of information here. Step 1 in the top right here is the top 5 action steps. And we're going to get back to this in a little bit. These are the things that we can do to help you. But as importantly, just below that, step 2 is what things that you can do to improve your visibility as well. So let's get into the meat of the information. I'm going to skip the search engines and go right to the local search sites. Because the interesting thing about local search sites, these are the influence engines, because these are the sites that people go to find what they're looking for. Okay, now this first chart shares with us the breadth of coverage on the local search sites. Okay, organized by your business category in your local area. And the key here is you want to be upwards in the 75% plus range. So you do have some listings in the Internet Yellow Pages and some of the local search sites and some category specific sites, which is pretty important. But again, we're far from the minimum of a 75% visibility. So again, a lot of opportunity there. We have no visibility at all in the social networking or directory assistance sites. So again, a lot of opportunity. Moving down to the next graph, this graph looks at the depth of coverage. How detailed is your information when it's found? Okay, again, not to confuse you, this first chart shows the breadth of coverage of all the directories and relevant sites out there. Are you found? And then the next chart here looks at, in those directories where you are found, what's the depth of the information that is found? And again, you want to be in a 75% plus range. So your basic listings, kind of low. A lot of opportunity there. Additional contact information, minimal. Your business profile is minimal as well. And the thing that concerned me the most, which has the best opportunity for us, is ratings and reviews. And let's get into that a little bit more detail. What this information is down below here is all the information that derives the bar graph, okay? So let's get into it. Let's first look at the Internet Yellow Pages. Okay, Internet Yellow Pages, I don't think it needs much explaining. That's kind of like the old yellow book where we all used to go to look up and find a business. Now, as you can imagine, a green circle with a check mark is good, red X is bad, and what this is showing us is that the basic listings, again, we're missing the boat. There's a lot of opportunity in a lot of these influence engines that were just not listed. Nor do we have any additional contact information, no business profile information, and more importantly, no ratings and reviews. So again, big opportunity there. Regional directories, there aren't any found in your business category, which again, we were not surprised because your business seems to be a very specialized business category that even Google hasn't picked up and indexed yet. So moving on to social networking. Social networking, again, Facebook, Yelp, Manta, Twitter, Foursquare, some of the most common ones that people go to and use. Big opportunity there, Glenn. You're not found at all. And the important thing about social networking sites is that's the new word of mouth. That's where people go to find out about a business and also to find a business. So very important area which impacts the influence engines. Directory assistance is kind of like we used to pick up the phone and dial 411. Now all this information is available online. Again, a lot of opportunity here for you as well. Local search sites, major impact on the influence engines. Let's take a look here. Again, much opportunity. You're doing pretty well on HotFrog. You do have a basic listing and you do have a business profile, but again, well, not complete on that listing. And again, overall, there's a lot of other opportunities where we really can gain some presence for you. Now, I will say this. When I went into Google and did a search for you, we did find that you are listed, you have verified your listing there. But the challenge with that is the information is incomplete. So since it's incomplete, Google doesn't fully recognize you as a business on that Google Maps, Google Place page. So you're not really benefiting from that as far as aggregating all that information. And again, we're going to get a little bit more specific with that in a moment. Now, category-specific sites, and there are a few in your area. ServiceMagic, you do have a business profile there. We found that the information is inconsistent with what your main telephone number is, so that needs to be updated. And some of these other category-specific sites, repair, home, hire contractors. Again, you got a basic listing in there. And contractors.com, right contractor, and leading contractors. Again, opportunities to get your business name out there. So, Glenn, as you can see, these sites, these directories, these networking sites, all these things aggregate and provide an online visibility because this is where people go to find a business or to find reviews on a specific business like yours to see what other people's experience is with you. All right, now we mentioned ratings and reviews and how important that is. And these are the sites where ratings and reviews certainly come from, sites ranked by strength and importance. we don't show any ratings at all from your business. Okay, big opportunity here. And we're going to talk about what you can do to start getting those reviews. I'm sorry, ratings. Let's look at reviews. None. We don't find any reviews at all. Again, very, very important. And Google is placing much more weight on ratings and reviews in their search rankings to give you the higher positions. So it's something we definitely want to talk about a bit more. Mentions. Your business is mentioned in a number of other areas, but most of them are dated. I think the newest one is, right here, September 8th of 2010. So they're more than a year old. So we need to, again, get back into this and get your business found out there. I mentioned earlier about paid placement in the Google AdWords, pay per click, excuse me. So there's a lot of your competitors out there, as well as the leading directories, spending money on your business category, which I found was pretty interesting because your category is so specific, and as specific as it is, it's also very, very competitive. So, all right, let's come back to the search engine sites. You do have pretty good presence on Super Pages and HotFrog. Again, HotFrog you're doing the best in, and it's also the information where you have the most complete listing. So in a quick glance of those, again, you're listed in a lot of them on Google. Okay, you can see a lot of specific sites here, also in Bing and Yahoo, but the depth of your information is missing, and that's where we can really help you a lot, Glenn, because the key is you want to have your business listed and found in all of these directories where people go looking for information. Okay, now what you see here in this column in site details, probable business match, and you see it quite a number of times, what that simply means is we have found you in some of these listings, but the information is not consistent. The key in all these directories and these sites is not only to have your business listed, but to make sure your business information is consistent throughout. Now, there's over 100 of these sites, so when you place your business and list your business in a particular directory or site, you want to list your business name, your address, and your main phone number, and you want to be consistent when you input this data in all of these directories. And here's an example, a simple thing like abbreviating, let me look at your address here, abbreviating street in one directory, ST period, whereas in the next directory you spell out the word street. Or even as simple as you abbreviate street ST and don't use a period. If it is not identical and consistent throughout, the influence engines don't see that as relevant. It questions whether that is the same business it found in the other directories, and you lose that visibility. So it's so important to be consistent with all that information. So with all that being said, Glenn, let's come back to the executive summary and wrap this up. So again, your overall score is a 12, and the goal is we need to get you up to that, close to that 80, 90, 100 ranking. Here's the things that we can do. All right, what we do for our customers is we tap into the top 5 most important things that impact your online visibility every month. And the top 5 action steps for you this month would be to add your business description on Super Pages. Okay, you want a detailed description of the services you provide. Secondly, add your listing to Manta. Third, add it to Yelp. Fourth, add it to YP.com. And the 5th action step for the first 30 days is to add your listing to Yahoo Local. Now, the things that you can do, the things that you can work on right now. Okay, we talked about ratings and reviews. You want to start working with your existing customer base, getting them to go to these sites once you've listed yourself and start posting reviews about their experience with you. And certainly you want them to be positive reviews, okay? And the other thing you want to start working on is start getting your business listed in all of these directories, okay? Now, as I said, Glenn, I'm going to give you a copy of this report so you'll have full access to what all these directories are, okay? And you can see where you need to go to get your business listing found, okay? And all you simply do is have to visit those sites and start inputting your data. All right, so that's the overall score. Now, the last piece of information I want to give you is information about your competitors, okay? And I'm sure you know who they are, all right? But bottom line, the going to Google and doing a search for roof cleaning in your area, I don't have to tell you, you got a lot of competitors, and I've had the opportunity to look at their scores to see how they fare in comparison to you. All right, so let's look at one of your first competitors, Hall's We Clean service. Overall score of a 24. Local search sites, you can see they got some good presence there. So as we talked about, the influence engines are what increases your visibility, which increases your presence, which increases your business. So Halls has done a pretty good job. You can tell they're working on this, and they're working on getting their listings. Now they certainly have a lot of room to grow and a lot of opportunity as well. But again, they put a little bit of emphasis on working on this, so you can see the impact it's had on them. And he's almost, he's actually doubled your score for online visibility. Okay. The other thing, the local search sites. He's doing a really good job with localsearch.com. He's got some good presence in Google and Bing. Yahoo, he's got nothing. But again, you see just that little bit of work has almost doubled his score, which in essence gives him twice the visibility than you. Okay. Ratings and reviews, not very many, but again, he's working on that. So I'm not sure if you know this gentleman, but you can tell he's working on his online visibility. The other competitor I looked at was Wilkins Enterprises. Again, a 22, same type of deal. He's doing some work on some of the major sites, and you can tell he's giving it a go. Some of the areas where he's lacking is, again, remember we talked in your situation about some of the inconsistent information in these directories. Same thing here. We've noticed that his address is not consistent across the board. So again, that's a simple cleanup to really improve his rankings, because you can tell he's worked on it. And much like you with mentions, he's got a number of mentions, but some newer, okay, some just a week or two old, but most of them are older. All right, so again, going back to his score of 22 versus your 12. Going down the line, AccuWash, looking at a 14. Again, a good example. He's got some presence in the three majors, and he's done pretty well there. Okay, but again, a lot of opportunity here. So Chesapeake Hydro Wash, I believe they're right in your backyard, or pretty darn close in Denton. Again, here's an example of someone's not doing anything at all. So, there's not much there. Again, a lot of work. So bottom line, Glenn, there's no question that just with a little bit of work, you can really make a difference and really make this happen. So I will end it with this and wrap this up, because we're going on 18 minutes now. So if you're still with me, I hope I've shared some good information to assist you with this online visibility. And Glenn, if there was a takeaway from this information, this is it. Understanding the power of the internet, that 97% of people use the internet to find products and services in their local area, and that 80% of those people end up calling or going to the business to make a purchase. So although maybe in a certain business category there might not be as many people that would do a search for your business category, in your case because it's maybe a new type business, but when they do that search, it's a highly qualified prospect and they buy. I say all that to say this: knowing all that, you want to be that company they find. So, Glenn, I'll end it with, if you'd like to learn more about the services we provide and what we can do to help you, and you want to get an idea of about some of our programs and what the investment would be, just simply reply to my email. Let me know you'd like to learn more, and I'll send you some additional information for you to peruse and see if you'd like to take this to the next step. Glenn, again, we appreciate the opportunity to provide this report to you. I hope it helps. Look forward to our next conversation. Have a good day, Glenn.